Hey guys, happy Friday Q&A. It's about 10 after 2 Eastern Standard Time. Pretty much done for the day. Watching a little oil, but I don't think I'll be placing any trades. So I'll get to the questions that have been posted on the blog. Thanks guys for doing that. And I'm going to cover Kristen's. We'll probably last because it's the most detailed. And thank you, Kristen, for bringing that up. So Kim asked, do you ever use multi-time frames when you chart? And to focus on hidden divergence, no, I don't. Other strategies I do, but for hidden divergence, I'll look at different time frames. I'll look at the 5-minute or look at the 15-minute, and once in a while I'll look at an hourly chart if I'm looking to take a larger position, a longer position, and then I have the 8 range charts. But typically they stand alone. So I don't need, if I see something setting up on one of the range charts, on the 8 pip range chart, I don't need to see it on the 15 or the 5. I don't need a secondary chart to confirm that entry. And same on the 15, or let's say the 5. If I see a setup on the 5, I don't need to look at the 15 to confirm it. So for the hidden divergence, it's just a one-off. If I see it on the chart, I take the trade. Next question, Sammy asks, do you ever have a directional bias when you take a trade? And do you look at a longer term trend and only trade in that direction? It's a great question. Again, I could look at the overall trend and say, all right, are we down overall? And looking at a larger time frame. This kind of goes hand in hand with Kim's question, but I don't. I'm just looking at when the trade sets up for hidden divergence. If it's there, I'll take it. But it's not a bad thing to do. That's, if you guys want to put that in, you can use a 200 MA or a longer kind of moving average and say, all right, if price is below that, then I'm only going to take hidden divergence shorts. And that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. I don't, but that's a great point. And thank you, Sammy. That's a great question. So what else do we have? Oh, Edwin asked if I am on Facebook or Twitter. I'm on Twitter, kind of, sort of. I don't post. I think I've only posted once, and I'm only following 2 different guys, and they're traders. So I'm not a hardcore Twitter guy. I might be later on, but it's just not something that's totally on the radar. I like the 2 guys that I follow. I love following them, and I check their tweets, I guess, often. And you can, I would suggest you follow them guys as well. But here's my Twitter. I guess that's my name. I guess that's how you find me, at a guy who trades. So if you search for that, you'll find me, and you'll see who I'm following. And I suggest you follow those 2 guys as well. They're very good traders, and that's why I follow them. They've got some real, they post charts and stuff, so it's really cool stuff. So that's why I'm all over those 2 guys. So Russ and Rob, you can follow them. So, and Facebook, I don't know. I'm not a big Facebook guy. That's it. I mean, I don't expect to be. So that's what, I don't know. That's what the blog's for, basically. So that's it for those questions. And now we'll look at Kristen's question. I put a post on the blog instead of just having it as a comment, because I think it deserves its own post. And again, thanks, Kristen, for that. So she wants to know if you can open more than one range chart for a pair. And she gives the example, euro dollar 8 pip and another euro dollar, say, a 19 pip. And absolutely you can. What you need to do is, okay, so this, I just opened this platform. This is FXCM. I just opened the platform. When you shut the platform down and then reopen it, the script stops working. So every time you restart the platform, you have to start those scripts again. Okay, so you got to go to the 1-minute chart, and we can tell. I mean, we have the euro dollar, and that's, I believe that was an 8-minute, and I believe this was a 12-minute, the 17 that we labeled from the last video. Check real quick here. Yeah, so that's 8. And we can see the last time it printed with our crosshairs was on the 25th at 1900 hours, almost 2000 hours. So obviously the script isn't working. So what we do is we go back to the 1 minute chart, we find the range chart script, we drag it over, change it to 8, and we've already labeled it as 2. Make sure everything's checked over here. Okay, double check that we want an 8 range bar chart, and the label or time frame is 2. That matches our current window, our offline chart that's already open. Click OK, and then this we'll get that. We'll have to get that message, the DLL message, and that'll pop up. That will pop up shortly. And the same thing for the pound-dollar one. We have to go to range chart, drag it over, make sure everything's checked. Okay, so there's the call function for that user DLL. That's for the euro-dollar chart, so we know the script is running there. I'm just going to cancel this, and we'll go and we'll see the time frame, or the time on the bottom of the chart, and we see that it's current, so we know that it's running. Okay, and we'll see the ticks move as it happens, and it says here started, the range chart started, and then we double check and see that it's actually working on the chart, and we can tell that by the time. And my chart says 9:14, and this one says 9:13, so perfect, that works. So again, we'll go to start up this 12 pip on the pound-dollar, drag it over, check all our boxes, go to inputs, change it to 12. Now this is the offline chart we labeled as M17, so we have to do that again. M7, or just 17, right? Click OK. Yeah, and this one's the last trade, or the last print on that chart was 25. And then this window pops up. Do you permit call function? Yes. And there we have our up-to-date 12 pip chart on the pound-dollar. Now, let's say we want another Euro USD chart. We'll use Kristen's example. She wants a 19 pip chart. Okay, perfect. So we will open another chart window, and we change it to 1 minute, and we take the range chart script, drag and drop, go to the common tab, click allow live trading, allow DLL imports, go to the inputs tab, and she wants 19, so we can put 19 pip here. And we need to label this something different than 2, obviously, because we already have a chart label, an offline chart labeled 2 for the euro dollar, so we can just call it 3. Okay. Click OK. We see that the range chart script is started, so now we have to go to the offline, open offline, and we find the euro dollar labeled 3. Click open. Do you permit call function? Blah blah blah. Always click yes, and that's it. So we'll get rid of, make this so it's visible here. Bars. Yeah, there we have it. So we see the last print was 1916, and the time on our market watch is 1916, so we know that it's working. And if you want to move that over, so there's your 8 pip, 19 pip. Okay, and then again, if you want to put the whatever stochastic indicator, any other indicator you might want to put on, click OK, and there it is. So it's as simple as just, opening a second euro dollar minute chart. I like to put my minute charts on one side and then have the offline charts on the other. It just makes it a little bit more easier to follow. So there's the 8 pip, 19 pip, 8 pip, 19 pip, back and forth. So that's it. That was a great question, Kristen. And again, that's great. I should have put that in there because at times I'll have different pip ranges for the same pair. So you can see the chart is quite a bit different. Quite a bit different. And that's it as far as questions, guys. What else did she ask? I mean, I answered in the in the Q&A on the blog, but hopefully this video showing the steps makes it a little easier to follow. So it's pretty simple. It's just adding another minute chart, dragging the script over, typing in what you want as far as the range bar, and then giving it a different label. Now I labeled it 3. I could have labeled it 19, to match. That would have been fine. So, and you maybe want to get in the habit of that and calling this M2, call it 8, and you know that's your 8 pip bar, and call this one 19 because you'll know that's your 19 pip bar. So to each their own. You can monkey around with it and use whatever you get used to. So that's it, guys. Hopefully that's I think that covers all the questions. If I can just quickly go over them again. Twitter, yeah. Multi-time frames, yeah. Directional bias, yeah. That's it. Okay, guys. Have a great weekend, and look forward to Sunday evening. All right, take it easy.